I just want to see if I'm interested in buying your house yet. And I don't know that until I ask you some questions and you turn it right around. You guys got to get used to just turn around controlling it.
So when I actually finally got on the phone, she was a nice lady. She was a mortgage something. I forgot if she was a mortgage
broker or whatever.
And she has multiple, properties. So that already kind of leveled it up. Now, at the same time, I am not, I don't really have a problem talking. And
well, I want to go to, let's do this. So Carl, I want to go to sort of because my brain originally goes to, why would you stay on that long if it didn't go that great, right? But I want to hear, what were the things she was shooting out that we can massage?
All right. So she asked me, how long have you been in business? Okay. So I was struggling with that. Okay. I was trying to tell her that, I've been working with you, like a national team, doing lots.
Well, let's script this though. And I'm making notes because these are questions everybody's getting. They're not, to your point, that everybody's not proficient in. So I'm going to make a note here. How long in biz?
So
hold on 1 sec. Sorry. So let's work this a little bit.
Okay. Sorry. You tell me.
Who would, well, I want to pick apart each question, because even if we got 1 or 2 nailed, you go, bingo, I could have said that and that call would have went differently. So do you guys have any thoughts on that piece?
I do.
Go ahead.
I would say that I'm with a national group and we've been around, I would say 20 years. Maybe I have the timing wrong, but.
Well, I've been at it 33, and the coaches and Nick and Zach, when you add up our experience, is like just under 75 years. But I've been at 33. So you could say our team has over 75 years experience. Paul, to your point, just a little massage there and move on. So I'm part of a national group that has over 75 years experience, but depending on how we buy, it might not even be me anyway. So let's get some more data here first, and keep moving. You got to get off the question, move to the next. Kyle or John, any thoughts before we move to?
What did you say before? Okay, it depends on how much.
We have about 75 years experience in this national group, but depending on how we buy, it might not even be me anyway. Because what are you referring to if you say that? You're referring to, it might be an AO and someone else might be qualifying for it. Not even you anyway.
Right.
That's why they're saying it. So say, look, we'll get to that. But for now, I got to see if it's even worth getting there. You take back control by kind of saying that. Kyle or John, did we miss anything?
No. That's a new piece, 75 years, but I was always saying, hey, with my senior partner has 30 years in the business. I'm part of a national group, senior partner.
I usually avoid the actual time frame and kind of say, I've got associates across the country. We do thousands of these. So yeah,
I love that too. And then just whatever the answers, all 3 of these that we just did, then you move on. All right. So anyway, boom, and you go right back to the questions. Take back control.
And I do believe that I kind of went through that. I'm just giving you the questions that make me feel very insecure, and I probably sounded like that too, but I did move on because, like I said, it was a 30-minute conversation.
Yeah, part of it, Carola, you nailed it, is not always what we say, but how we say it. Like, you could be in your head, as long as you go boom and say it and move on, then they're not going to question. But yeah, if they sense that, because the energy comes across, they're just going to toy. Okay, right. What else she hit you with? This is good.
Okay. So she said, so we went over the lease purchase, right? So she has a high-end condo, and I explained her how we would work. And then she says, well, so if you are not going to be making the payments anymore, then what? So I told her, I said, well, we'll be paying down on your home and you're going to get your home back, but that's the worst case scenario.
Okay, so stop there. Let's, because this comes up a lot too. So what if you stop paying?
I said,
so go ahead. I want to hear what these guys say, because I've heard that said in the community. It's not incorrect. I wouldn't go there as a first, because you're inviting that. You're almost admitting, like, yeah, it might happen. You get your house back. I don't love that. What do you guys think? What have you said?
I usually say, in that very rare instance, you wouldn't even know that there was any hiccups, because that's my job to make sure that everything goes through. But in the rare event that anything like that would happen, you would get your home back and keep all the deposits and everything that you've gotten paid up to that point. So yeah, you know, very
You said
low.
I liked at the beginning. You guys, again, depends how you're buying, right? But the simple answer is it's not your headache, it's my headache. We don't stop making payments. Now, if she has an issue with credibility, which could be it. I would throw back to what we just said in the last statement, guys. Look, our group's been doing this for over 30 years. We don't default. That's a legal contractual obligation, and we have a rating with the BBB. And then I'd say, so it's a non-issue, and I'd move on. And if they bring it back up, you guys have heard some of my calls where I said, look, you got to decide if you're comfortable with this, and if you're not, it's going to keep you up. And I don't do it. I'll be the first to tell you that I don't do it. We don't default, period.
Right.
So I don't know if I sparked anything else there, but what else, guys, before we move on to the next question?
Is that bad that I said in the rare instance that that there is a default?
Oh yeah, because the only time that would be applicable, John, is an AO, because it's their problem.
Gotcha.
But in the lease purchase or the owner financing, it's you.
Right, and they should know.
And they might, just out of a courtesy, if they see the house empty in their local or something, but they shouldn't know. No.
Okay.
Nope. Only AO. In which case, God, they got all kinds of cash. They're not in a bad spot. So if the AO comes up, you just tell them that you're not in a bad spot. I'll come back and do it again. Or you sell it with a realtor or whatever.
So I don't remember how I actually got to this point, because I usually don't bring up the fact that, you know, there's going to be a buyer in there, right? But we ended up getting to that because she was asking me questions. So then her problem was, okay, so I have this beautiful condo, and, you know, so she's making all these problems. What if they trash her? You know, and I explained to her, I said, well, that is my problem. That's not going to be your problem, right? And that's how we got to the point, who is backing you up financially? So that's kind of how that came about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why
she had no confidence. She just didn't have confidence in you the way it was going.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
So she was absolutely, I mean, she was motivated, but she wasn't, because she's moving out of state actually. So that is how that, like, when you stop paying, right? Like who is backing you up financially?
All these questions, these last three questions are all the credibility piece. You need to rehearse the crap out of that for the rest of this week into next week, and not rehearse anything else. Just the credibility piece, because it's tripping you up.
So then she says, well, how much is your down payment going to be? So then I said, well, I usually deal only with sellers like yourself that don't need any money down, but are looking to get the most out of their home, you know.
And then at the end of that sentence, or at the beginning, I would have liked it. Did you? Okay, but I would have liked the beginning or end for you to say, so what's more important to you?
Okay.
The top price or the deposit? Because I have a couple variables here. I have price, deposit, term. But if you're telling me you want all three, this conversation's kind of over.
Okay.
Because
so
that's not a fair transaction. Use the word fair.
Okay.
That wouldn't be a fair transaction. Would you agree? That's what you say.
All right.
Well, no, I want all three. Then we have nothing to talk about.
So you because I wrote actually in my notes, like, stop talking after that. So
yeah,
you're saying like, you know, so what is more important to you? You add to that. Yeah.
So depending on what has come up in the conversation, because there's more than three variables, but I try not to invite a lot of variables. So if so far, for example, term came up, price, and down, I would only use those three and say, well, look, we got down, term, and price, and I can't give you all three. So what's the top priority and what would be second priority?
Okay. All right. So then she kind of shuts it down, right? She says, well, you know, then we don't have anything to talk about it anymore.
I would have said, okay.
I said, okay. I said, I totally understand. I said, before I let you go, I do want to give you something to take with you, that there is another option how we can help you sell your home. And I presented the AL, right? So I tell her.
And how did you present it?
I let me think. I said, okay, so what I will do is I'm going to find you a buyer in my buyer pool that I'm thoroughly vetting. It's going to be a buyer that person will buy your home, except for right now, they will not qualify for the loan that they need to get at this moment, but they will be in 24 months. And that is the term you're going to be looking for, because that's what she wanted, 2 years. And I said, what the best thing is, the only thing is you're going to be a landlord, but you're familiar with that, so that shouldn't be a problem.
I wouldn't have said landlord, just to tweak you for the future.
Okay. Well, I mean, she's renting out properties, but I mean, I understand.
No, I get it. But with this buyer, you're dealing with a buyer instead of your landlord hat. That's my tweak.
Yeah, okay, I got you, because I did explain that to her, except for you're not, I said, because you don't have to run over there when something breaks, because they're homeowners.
Okay, so that wasn't a bad explanation. What is her comment on that? And then we can get off this lady, because she just sounds like she's not a happy person.
I know. I'm just wanted to kind of share it with her.
No, I like it. I'm saying we can only beat her up so much. So what did she say to you when you gave her that answer on the AO?
I said you get a non-refundable deposit and you get, payments. And then she goes in again, trashing whatever problems. She says, so you are going to get a down payment. And
all right, so let me fast forward to the end of the conversation. How did it end? It didn't end any follow-up, I take it.
Well, she says, well, send me some information about your company and I will check you later. And I said to John, I think she's going to go in my do not contact ever file anymore.
Well, okay, I have 2 questions, and then someone can call it in 60 days, me or someone else. What's her urgency if she doesn't sell? She's just going to rent?
She's going to just keep her house. I guess she must be good in money. She said she's
right,
just
but is she going to rent it?
Oh, she didn't say. She's renting other properties, so she probably is going to rent it.
Okay, so the biggest thing I'm not hearing that came out of that call was, because she was controlling it, is what if you don't sell? I
asked her in the beginning. She says, I'm just going to keep it, she says.
And she's not motivated, Carola. This is what drove this whole conversation.
Okay, gotcha. So, yeah, well, I mean, I did learn from the conversation. I just felt really bad afterwards.
Well, I hope you got a couple tidbits right there, and don't feel bad. You just grew. I would suggest something. I would suggest in 60 days, roughly, if it's still on the market in Florida, have me or someone call it. So it's nothing to do with you.
It wasn't expired. But I will definitely check it in 60.
It's even better. Like, everything about that lady that she said is just wrong. She doesn't know what she's doing. So remind me in 60 days and either myself or someone else will call it.
Okay. Thank you. Well, thank you guys for listening to my experience.
Well, they're commonly asked questions. I don't know. Did you guys get a tidbit or two?
Oh, absolutely. I had a call very similar to that. It was with an owner agent, and I'm trying to think.
This is not uncommon, by the way, you guys. Mortgage brokers and agents just think they got it. They got everything figured out, and they don't.
Oh yeah, well, this lady was picking my brains, like, how does your program work? What's in it for me? Blah blah blah. And I probably should have just said I don't have time. Instead of giving her a free seminar on how we do our thing.
Well, what you should then is turn around and say, before we do that, I just want to see if I'm interested in buying your house yet. And I don't know that until I ask you some questions, and you turn it right around.
Okay.
You guys got to get used to just turn around controlling it. And I agree. I probably wouldn't stay on the phone like with one of them. Like, you have a choice to do business with people, right? That you like.
Yeah.
This is a choice you have. You're the buyer. All right. Good scripting. We jumped into some scripting there, whether we liked it or not.